Am I the a-hole for refusing to consider being an organ donor for my abusive father, even after my siblings begged me to save him? My father was abusive to me, 20s male, but was never abusive to my siblings, all 8+ years younger than me. We're full siblings. He is my father as much as theirs, but he always treated me like crap. And our mother allowed it, so I don't have anything too nice to say about her either. In her own way, she tried to be there for me, but she didn't save me from him, and she sure as heck didn't prioritize making my life better. The abuse my father inflicted on me was physical and emotional, and it lasted my entire childhood. I know he never did the same to my siblings. They've told me, and I know not everyone can see it, but I have witnessed him with them, and the difference is night and day. I'd even say he was a good parent to them, and if I didn't exist, he could be called a good father overall. But I was there, and he did abuse and hate me. He didn't care what happened to me. I'm not going into specifics about which organ or what his condition is, but my father is now sick and needs a transplant. Think kidney or liver. I'll also say it wasn't self-inflicted, because I know that gets asked when stuff like this comes up. My mother and siblings were all tested and didn't match. My father's siblings and some of their kids were tested and there wasn't a match. Some of his friends got tested and they weren't a match. He's on the transplant list, but he's getting sicker, and they don't know if a match will come forward in time. My siblings reached out to me to ask me to get tested and donate if I'm a match. They told me it's looking really bad and he could die. They said they can't lose him, and they know I hate him. They know he put me through hell and mistreated me, but they wanted me to do it for them instead of for him, so they can have him for however many more years. They were pleading and frantic, and even offered to make sure I got some money from our parents to make up for everything. I felt bad for them and how awful they felt, but I told them I couldn't put myself through something like that to save his life. I said even for them, it was too big of an ask. They brought up how serious this is again, and I told them I know, but it won't be from me if he gets what he needs. I told them I needed them to accept it and focus on being there with him. They said some stuff after. I won't go into it all. And I'm not even mad because they're still so young and their experience with a man is so different than mine. None of them were ever abused, but I have grappled with whether I should have agreed. For them, at least getting tested, and knowing if everyone else wasn't a match, the likelihood I would be was tiny anyway, and I could have spared them the upset. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. But have you considered lying? Your father will be dead soon. Your siblings may have been unaware of the abuse or too young to contemplate it. If there's even the remotest chance you want to continue a relationship with them now as adults, the only family you have left, I presume, then cutting them off to get back at your father may not be the best choice. Obviously, you're not going to get tested and donate a kidney, but just tell them you got tested and you're not a match. Then they'll stop asking you. We've talked about the abuse I suffered at the hands of our father, so they're aware and they know it happened. They believe it happened. But they had such a different father than I did that it's not as easy for them to hate him. I haven't considered lying because if the truth ever got out, and typically stuff comes out even if you try your best to contain it, then I wouldn't have saved the relationship anyway. Anyway, I'm not cutting them off. They might choose to cut me off, but that'll be their choice. I'd love to keep our relationship going. If you go to get tested and tell the doctors you're feeling pressured into making this decision, they will put you in their files as not a match. Just something to consider. Do they actually do that, or just reject you as a donor if you're not doing it of your own free will? Because I didn't think they could lie like that on record. I knew they could reject you for different reasons, though. I donated a kidney a few years ago. One of the things they'll do is if you tell the clinic you're being pressured to donate, not only will they disqualify you right out the gate, they'll come up with a medical reason why you're not eligible. They take the voluntary nature of the thing very serious. Telling your family to kick rocks would be justified, but if you want to not rock the boat quite so hard, this would be a good way to do that. I'll consider if I want to go that far then. My gut says no, that I just want to keep my firm no and move on with my life. But I guess I have to weigh, do I want to try and make this less straining to my relationship with my siblings? Next story. Am I the a-hole for wishing my dad good luck when all he has left is his affair partner because he won't see my brother in the hospital when she's not welcome? My dad cheated on my mom with Fiona. We found out 3 years ago, and my parents got divorced because of it. And Dad married Fiona. Dad and Mom have me 16 and my brother 13. We don't like Fiona, and I don't like Dad either. My brother still has mixed feelings about Dad and wants a relationship with him, but not with Fiona. But my brother still mostly keeps Dad at arm's length because Dad comes with Fiona. To give some more info on other things, I spoke in court about not wanting to go to my dad's house, and the judge didn't listen. In my state, they never have to listen to kids, which means anyone under 18. A judge could choose to, but it's rare that they will when no physical abuse is involved. My brother wanted to spend less time at Dad's house, and that was another thing. Our voice doesn't matter in that either, not even mine at 16. So we're 50-50 with our parents. The other thing is Fiona has tried to get close to us. She has acted all sweet and caring, like she wants us to be family, and she has cried when we rejected her. I'm ruthless about it too, and told her I will never be her friend and never be her willing family, and to accept it. I told her she is nothing in my eyes and is just as disgusting as Dad. Fiona was our neighbor for a while and knew about Mom and us, so while Dad is primarily the bad guy, she's not innocent. Dad and I fight regularly about it. So, my brother has pretty severe asthma, and he was hospitalized almost 3 weeks ago. My brother made it clear to the hospital staff that he didn't want Fiona to visit him, so she's not allowed in. Because of that, Dad refused to visit, even when my brother asked to see him. My brother stopped calling him after that and ignores any calls Dad makes. My dad had some friends over, and he complained to them about the whole thing. When they left, I told him that I hoped he was prepared to never see me or my brother again, and good luck when all he has left is his affair partner. He told me not to speak about Fiona like that, and to stop speaking to him like that. I told him that's what Fiona will be, until the day she dies, just like he will be a cheater until the day he dies. He told me stopping all contact with a parent for loving their partner is wrong. I rolled my eyes, and he's still whining about what I said. He told Mom I had no right to speak to him that way. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Your dad chose his affair partner over his son's well-being. Actions have consequences. He can't expect love and respect when he won't even show up for his own kid in the hospital. Best 18th B-Day present for you is the ability to go no contact with him. Yep, it can't come fast enough. Write him a really colorful letter before you go no contact, so he can really stew in it. Oh, and if he dares to contact you, post his number on Craigslist under giving old car parts for free. Every time. Works like a charm. I considered sending him a really badly written text, because that stuff drives him crazy. I have no sympathy for a man who refuses to visit his son in the hospital unless his affair partner wife can come too. Dad stepped over a line he can't come back from. His son asked him to come and Dad refused unless he got his way. Then he has the audacity to demand an apology? Oh, hell no. The fact he thinks my brother will get over it too. But Dad acts like he's the one who has the right to be mad that we're shunning his affair partner. Tough break. You and your brother have every right to be angry. Your dad's an a-hole. You and bro should look into petitioning the courts to live with your mother, especially in light of him not even visiting your brother in the hospital. It won't make a difference. The court won't listen to us because we're under 18 and they don't have to. We tried. We tried so hard before, but it wasn't happening. Next story. Am I the a-hole for letting my grandparents throw my dead dad in my mom's face? My dad died 6 years ago. I, 17 male, was 11. My mom started dating a year later, and she met husband number 2 within a few months. He was a single dad with a 4-year-old son at the time, and because he wanted his son to have a mom, they moved fast and got married within a year. My mom was pregnant a few months later. She now has 2 biological kids with her husband, and she calls her stepson her son, and he calls her mom. I don't know why, but a few weeks ago, my mom made this big deal out of giving each of the other kids something that had belonged to my dad. It was nothing huge, but I didn't like it and told Mom she shouldn't give Dad's stuff away like that. It should be just for his family. Mom told me they were his family in spirit, and I said that was BS. She told me that my sister, 19 female, and I would get most of it, and asked why I would hate my younger siblings getting something. I said they're not dad's kids, and why would anyone think it was normal? She told me I was overreacting and said they were just things anyone could own. I said that wasn't the point. Those were dad's things. I asked if she ever thought about how gross it might feel to give stuff that belonged to the man who died to make room for these kids. Two who wouldn't exist and one who would still be a stranger if dad hadn't died. She told me to never speak like that again, and she punished me for saying it. My sister was so mad when she found out that she came home from college just to pack up her share of dad's stuff, and she told Mom not to speak to her. Mom told her she was being unreasonable and should try to understand what she was doing. My sister told her she was being weird and that it showed what she thought of us, doing it without finding out if we'd be okay with it. We both told our dad's parents about it. They were shocked and assumed we had misunderstood, so they came and asked Mom if it was true, and she said yes. She said it was only small stuff, but that they're all her kids and dad is still one of her husbands, and her husband was cool with it because they weren't sentimental things. Grandma got more upset because one of the things Mom gave away was a stuffed animal Grandma's mom had bought for Dad before she died. Dad had only just been born at the time, so it meant a lot to Grandma. She told Mom she had always wanted that left in the family, and that Mom had always said my sister and I would get our choice of stuff, and then them, before anything else was disposed of or given away. She said she had refused to let us take anything until now, and yet Mom gave things away anyway. Mom said they stayed in the family, and my grandparents exploded. They told her that my dad would be disgusted with what she did, and they hoped she enjoyed disrespecting her first husband and the kids she had with him, because that's exactly what she did. Then they called Mom a liar and said it was awfully convenient that she pulled a stunt like this. My mom got upset and told them to leave. She said throwing Dad in her face like that was uncalled for. When they were gone, she turned to me and asked how I could let them do that to her. I told her they weren't wrong in my opinion, and if I could ignore her like my sister is right now, I would. My mom demanded an apology a few days ago for letting it happen. Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. Your dad's thing should only go to his family, not her new one. Mom disagrees, and she's not changing her mind, which sucks. I hate that she did this. Not the a-hole. While yes, they can be considered your family if you want to see them as that, but they are not your father's family. She has no right to give anything away without letting you or your sister know. She didn't even let us pick out the stuff we wanted. She kept saying it wasn't time. We both had to be 18. She said the same to Dad's parents and siblings. Man, I got secondhand anger reading that. That's pretty messed up. You were nicer to her than I would have been. If you both had to be 18, then why is she giving things away to children even younger than you? That's the thing that pisses me off most. I think it pisses us all off the most. We didn't get to choose the stuff we wanted and take them. It's not like she gave her stuff left from Dad to them. She gave the stuff we should have been allowed to choose from. Last story. Am I the a-hole for threatening to cancel my wedding that my dad is paying for if he invites his brother? My fiancé and I are getting married in May and decided that we didn't want to have a traditional large wedding. We had always really wanted to get married at the courthouse. A big reason for this is because we didn't want to have to deal with the drama that comes along with not inviting people who think they are entitled to be invited, specifically my uncle and his wife. My parents were very upset about the courthouse idea because they wanted more of a celebration, so we compromised and rented a big vacation house to get married at. It wasn't exactly what we wanted, but we were still happy to do it this way. My parents paid for the house. We invited about 10 people, including 2 couples that my parents are friends with. But now my dad is insisting we invite his brother. I have always felt very strongly about not inviting my dad's brother and his wife to our wedding, no matter how small our ceremony is. They are extremely entitled people, have spread many false rumors about my family, and trash-talked us behind our backs, all while trying to maintain the guise of being one big, perfect, loving family. Put simply, I don't care how closely related I am to them. I do not have any sort of affection for them, and I certainly don't trust them. Now my dad is using the fact that he is paying for everything as a way to control his brother getting invited. He says it's also a celebration for him too, so he wants his brother there, even though he will have other friends and family there. I say it's my wedding day, and I don't want to spend it with someone who has treated us like we're beneath him his whole life. My fiancé and I have already compromised for my parents by getting married at this house in the first place. We don't need to make any more compromises for them. My dad is not budging and is accusing me of being selfish and petty. So now my fiancé and I are strongly considering canceling it all and going back to our original courthouse plans. Seeing us get married is a privilege, not a right. So, am I the a-hole here? Does my father actually get more say since he is the one paying for everything? I don't understand the problem. You didn't want this bigger wedding in the first place. Why not just tell him if your uncle is invited, you're going back to a courthouse wedding? This is exactly what I'm doing now. He's telling me I'm being petty and immature for going back to my original plans. Are you planning to allow your parents to attend the courthouse wedding? If so, tell your dad that if he doesn't quit trying to make your wedding all about what he wants, he won't be witnessing it at all. If he keeps calling you petty and immature, just uninvite him and have the courthouse wedding that you want. Not the a-hole. The only reason you're having this extravaganza is as a favor to your dad. If he crosses your boundaries by inviting his brother, you're fully justified to change to the little wedding you wanted in the first place. In fact, you should probably cancel the big wedding unconditionally at this point. You can't trust your dad to keep your uncle out. Even if he were to reassure you uncle wouldn't be invited, he's taken your wedding and turned it into his party. I do think that, in the long run, you'll look back on your courthouse wedding and be content that you got exactly what you wanted. 100% this. If he says okay he's not invited, I'm completely sure the uncle and wife will show up anyway. Call or text everyone and tell them the wedding at the house is off. Do your courthouse wedding. If you are inviting them to the courthouse, make sure it is known the uncle is not invited and he will be escorted off the grounds if he shows up.